Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to paint this Space Marine Captain, and of course at this point I would like to remind you that in the description you can find the link to the video in which I did the unboxing, assembling, and I shared my first impressions of this miniature. The first thing that I would like to do with this miniature is to remove this here, because I'm sure that this is going to break at some point, so I prefer to solve the problem before it happens. And now I would like to make the base a little bit more interesting, and that's why I'm going to cut bits from the sprue that this miniature came from, and I'm going to glue them to the base. Now that the glue is completely dry and this base looks much more interesting, I'm going to proceed to prime the miniature, and for that I'm going to use Chaos Black from Citadel. Miniature primed, and now I'm going to use this technical paint, Astro Granite, to cover the base of this captain. Now that the technical paint is dry, we can start painting this captain, and the first color that I will use is Abaddon Black. I'm going to apply a thin layer of Abaddon Black on the black power armor. I made a big mistake and I made a mess. I'm so sorry, especially because I love this miniature, but when I was assembling the miniature, I had like a weird gap in this leg. I tried to fix it, I add some glue, I let it rest, and it was kinda okay. I thought that it was not going to be so noticeable, but now I was looking at it all the time and I was not happy with that, so I decided to try to add a seal to it, and that should make it look nicer. But no, I made an even bigger mess, and to cover what I did, I had to add 3 different seals to the leg. It looks maybe a little bit too much, but anyway, this is a captain, so maybe it's not going to be that bad. Once it's fully painted, we are going to be able to check it properly. But anyway, I made that big mistake. I made a mess. I'm so sorry, because I love this miniature, and that's why right now there's 3 purity seals here when there wasn't any earlier. But anyway, let's continue painting this miniature, and now I'm going to use Dawnstone basically to every area that will be white later. So basically we have this cloth here. I'm going to use it also in this knee right here, and we have a lot of seals and also the inside of the cape. Now I'm going to use Wraithbone to cover that grey color that I just painted. Now I will use Morphan Brown to paint the part that we can see of the sword, everything around his belt, and also this part of the weapon. The next color that I'm going to use is corn red, and I'm going to apply this color to the handle of the sword, to the weapon, to the eyes, the purity seals, crusade seals, and of course to the outside part of the cape as well. The next color that we're going to use is Lead Belcher, and I would like to apply this one for all the details in the power armor and the inside parts, like for example this symbol right here, the symbol in the chest, those extra details and symbols that we can see in the helmet, of course all the remaining parts of the weapon, these metallic elements right here, and of course some details around, like for example this part of the power armor. And now I would like to use Balthasar Gold to finish with the remaining elements on the power armor that I didn't paint it. All these details around the sword, this detail right here on the cape, this part on the back, and also this shoulder pad, because of course this is a captain and I would like him to be noticeable. And now that we finished with all the base colors, it is time to start with the shades. I'm going to use two different ones. First, I'm going to use Agrax Earth Shade for the golden elements, the brown elements, and also for the purity seals. And then I would like to use Null Oil for all the silver elements and also for the weapon. Shades applied, and now we can start with the highlights, and I would like to start with the black power armor. For that I'm going to use two different highlights. First, I'm going to use Dark Reaper, and I'm going to apply this color in every single edge of the black power armor. And then I'm going to use a second highlight, this one, a lighter one, Fenrisian Grey, and I'm just going to use it in the areas that are going to be the most exposed of this miniature. And now I'm going to use Seville Sun Scarlet to highlight the red color. Now I'm going to use crack brown to highlight the brown color. And now I'm going to proceed to highlight those metallic colors, so I'm going to use Stormhost Silver for the silver, of course, and then I'm going to use Retributor Armor for the gold details. We are almost there, we just need to add some extra details to this captain, so for that, first I would like to use Corax White to add some letters to this Crusade seal that we have right here. Then I'm going to use Abaddon Black to try to add some letters to the purity seals that we have around, and also I will try to make a nice cross here in this knee pad. And then I'm going to use again Balthasar Gold to try to draw a cross in this shoulder pad. Okay, now that this is looking like a proper Templar, I would like to finish with the base, and for that, first I would like to use Abaddon Black to paint in between all of these little gaps, and also to paint this part of the base. And then I would like to use again Wraithbone just to dry brush all over the surface. At this point we're almost there, so now I'm just going to add some extra final highlights with Wild Rider Red to the red elements, especially to the eyes, and after that I will just need to correct some small mistakes and it should be finished. And this is it, this is the final result. This is my Space Marine Captain with master-crafted heavy bolt rifle. I have said this before, but probably this is my most favorite Space Marine Captain in the whole range. And now that I see this miniature painted as a Black Templar, I have to say that I like it even more. So I can say that I'm very happy with the results. I love the pose of this miniature, I like a lot the weapons, I love Gravis Armour, I think that he has like a very nice cape, so with all of that, yes, this is one of my most favorite Space Marine captains. Here I have a regular heavy Intercessor that I painted not long ago, and like this I'm going to be able to compare it more nicely because this is my regular color scheme for my Black Templars. And this is my captain and how I would like to do captains from now on. So basically I wanted to add much more gold because I wanted this miniature to feel much more important, not only because of the cape and some extra details, but also about the colors. Like in this case I decided to have shoulder pads with a gold color, and I wanted to have both of them, but only one is visible, so there's only one. And I also, for example, with the symbol on the chest, I wanted to have more gold because, of course, I want this miniature to feel very, very important. And yes, basically, when I compare them, it's like, yes, this feels like a captain. Now I will try to have a little bit more of consistency with my captains, having these gold elements around. I think that it looks nice. Of course, at this moment, I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about my captain. And yes, this is it. And of course, at this point, I would like to remind you that if you like what I do and you would like to support my work and help me to improve even more, I invite you to check the link to my Patreon in the description. As I said before, I really like this miniature. I think that this pose is majestic. I like a lot the weapons, because this sword looks super cool with all of these details around. And I like of course the weapon. I think that this is like a super cool captain, and I like a lot this miniature, like basically. And I just had some issues with this miniature. The first one is that of course I ruined this leg when I was assembling the miniature, because the connection here with the sprue was a little bit too not the nicest to cut, and I made a little mess. I tried to fix it, I was not able to, and in the end I just had to cover the leg with purity seals and crusade seals. I have to say that at this moment I'm very happy, because when I look at this miniature, it feels like it was intentional. It feels like I did that on purpose. Someone that didn't see this video will look at this and will be like, okay, he added on purpose all of those purity seals. So yes, it doesn't feel that bad. My biggest issue in terms of painting was this knee, because of course first I did it like facing down from here, and then I had to remake it to make it be like this, properly following the leg, and I'm still not super happy. I will try to correct it a little bit more, but still I think that it's good enough. My other issue with this miniature was the cape, because there's this connection lines here. You can clearly see where I glued the small parts together. Here with this shadow I was able to hide it a little bit more, but here it's kinda like visible. Maybe I will try to do something. Maybe if I add this shadow a little bit more down, it will be possible that I will hide it a little bit more, but maybe it will be a little bit weird. I don't know. I mean, it's not super noticeable, and especially it's noticeable right now because of the lights that I have, that they are very aggressive. But aside from that, I don't have complaints about this miniature. I think that it's a really good looking captain, and I'm very happy with how this miniature looks. And of course, I loved this miniature before, but now that I see it painted as a proper Black Templar to lead units in my army, I am much happier. And with all of that being said, this is the end of the video. So this is my Space Marine Captain with Mastercrafted Heavy Bolt Rifle. Let me know in the comments what you think about this miniature. And as always, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.